Recording. We're going to get started today. We're going to be before class. You should have watched the lesson 7 video, so you have the background knowledge on how to draw angles. Today we're going to practice drawing angles. So you're going to need either your protractor that looks like this. If you don't have this one, there's a protractor on your template. Cooper, can you hold that up again for me so they see what the template looks like? It's on the bottom. Excuse me. It's right there on the bottom. You're going to need a hard surface to write on because we're going to be doing some drawing. And you're going to need your student workbook. Open to page 36, please. 36. So I'm gonna, since I can't really have you guys draw angles for me on the screen, I'm gonna demonstrate for you and let you do some practice on your own. And then it is gonna be important that you make sure you scan and send me a copy of your exit ticket for today, because that is going to be the only way because I'm gonna be able to see your work, because you're going to I'm gonna have to print your exit tickets and then use my template to measure your angles today. So let me get my zoomed in for you guys. You should be open to page 36, please. Page 36. Okay. The directions say to construct angles that measure the given numbers of degrees. For problems 1 through 4, use the ray shown as one of the rays of the angles with its endpoint as the vertex of the angle. We want to make sure we draw an arc to indicate the angle that was measured. So the very first angle that we're going to draw is a 30-degree angle. So we know that 30 degrees is what type of angle? What is a 30-degree angle? Sophia?
Acute.
Acute. So we know that it's going to be smaller than an L or a right angle. So I'm just going to put an A there so I know. So if I draw an angle that looks bigger, I know I've made a mistake. So I'm going to put a vertex right here just so it makes it easier for me to line up my protractor. Just like yesterday, we have 2 major checkpoints. We're going to put the center right here of your protractor on the vertex. That's checkpoint 1. And then checkpoint 2 is making sure this ray is lined up with 0. So this is the most important part. Now we want to make sure we're using the right numbers. Cooper, when we measure anything, what do we start with? Whether it's your height, your weight?
0.
0. So we're going to use, Cooper, the bottom or the top set of numbers here?
The bottom.
Very good. So I'm going to look and I'm going to find 30. So I start at 0 and I travel up my protractor until I find 30 degrees. Then I kind of trace it with my pencil and I make a point there. And then I move my protractor. Now I have to make another ray. So I'm going to use my protractor as a straight edge, and I'm going to connect my vertex and go through my second point. So I make another ray. This looks like that. Now this angle right here has 2 measures. I could measure from here to here, or I can measure from this side the whole way over. I know that a 30-degree angle is acute and it's going to be smaller, so I know that I've just measured from here to here. So if I go and try to remeasure just to check myself, I'm going to line up all my points, and I start here, my 0, I go up and I'm 30 degrees. Actually, right now to me it looks about 31, but remember I give you about 2 degrees each way in air, just because of how you could be just slightly to the right or to the left. So I just double checked my work and I have a 30-degree angle. Very important that you remember this arc because that tells you what you should be measuring. So far with that first example, does anyone have any questions? Anything I can clear up before we move on? Nope. Okay, let's go and look at number 2. Soren, what degrees does the second angle need to be?
$65.
Soren, so 65 degrees, acute, obtuse, straight, or right? What kind of angle is 65 degrees?
It is an obtuse.
No.
Oh wait, it's actually an acute.
Acute because it's smaller than 90. So I'm going to put an A there. So I remember it has to be smaller than an L. So I look at my ray here. Here's my arrow. So I'm going to put a point at this end. Here come your checkpoints. First thing, put your protractor down, lining up your vertex. Then make sure that the bottom part of your angle, see, just moves a little bit, even just if I breathe a little heavy because it's so light. So right there, I have my vertex lined up with the center of my protractor, and I have the ray lined up with the 0. Now, am I going to be using, Ilea, the top or bottom numbers to find 65 degrees?
The bottom.
No. What number's on the bottom here?
180.
Do we start measuring with the number 180?
No, I meant the top.
The top. So we're going to look at the top row where the 0 is. I'm going to scan the whole way up till I find 60. And here's 70. The measure is 65. So that's what this longer tick mark is in the middle. So I'm going to put my point in between 60 and 70, right at 65. Then I'm going to move my protractor, use that point as a guide to help me use my straight edge to make a ray, like so. And what else do I need to do? So my checker, my partner, my teacher, how does my teacher know what to measure? What do I need to add? One more thing. Cooper?
The arc.
Very good. So I want my teacher to measure from here to here, or my partner, whoever it may be. So I have to show them what they need to measure using that arc. Okay, now we're going to try some obtuse angles. So if we look at number 3, we have a 115 degree angle. So now this one should be larger than 90. So I'm going to go ahead and make my vertex. This one's kind of slanted, but that's okay. And if you need to move your book around, you can. I'm going to line up my vertex. Look at that. It's pretty good. On my first try, I got it. My vertex is lined up with the middle of my protractor. The bottom leg of my angle is on 0. Now I got to decide, am I using the top row or bottom row? Nina, which numbers am I using for this one? Top row or bottom row?
Top row.
Look at the top row. What does the top row start with?
Oh, I meant bottom row.
Right. You have to look for the 0 or else your angle will be wrong. Because if you would mark 115 on the top row, that would make an acute angle. So I'm going to look at my bottom row and I have to find 115. I'm going to travel on the bottom, trying not to move my protractor at all. Here's 90, 100, 110, 120. So I'm going to look in between the two for 115 and mark my point right at 115. Here's 110, here's 120. This is the longer tick mark. This shows 5. I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to remove my protractor and now use it as a straight edge to draw my ray. And then draw my arc. Now, if you still have your right angle detector handy, you can use this to check. Now look, if I line this up with the bottom part of my angle, you see that my angle's bigger. So it is obtuse, which is what we know because obtuse is bigger than 90, but less than 180. All right, let's try one more with the given ray. On the next page, we're going to have to do them all on our own. Okay, now here's your ray. We're going to make our endpoint, and we're going to be drawing a 135-degree angle. So what's the first thing that I need to do? Sarah, what should I do to draw this angle?
You have to get your protractor
Okay,
and put the middle part over the point.
okay.
And you look for the 0.
All right, gotta move this a little bit.
To see like which way to. Hold on, wait, never mind. There was this thing on your screen. So
Hold on 1 second, my screen is zoomed out now. Can you still see my page?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't see your face now. Okay, so I have my protractor. It's at 0. Am I using the bottom row or top row of numbers?
bottom row.
Nope. Bottom row starts with 180.
Top row.
Top row. So I'm going to travel on my top row to 130, 135 degrees. I'm going to make my point. Now what do I do?
You connect that. You connect your first point to the point you just made at 130.
I'm going to create a ray. Now what do I do?
I forgot what it was called already.
Look back in the directions.
The arc.
Now we measured from here to here. So that's how we'll draw our arc. Okay, I'm trying to get your faces back and all right. Next page, flip over. Now we're going to try to draw our own angles. So Soren, I want you to pick a number 5 through 10. Soren, are you there? Okay, pick a number, 5 through 10.
What was that?
Pick a number, 5 through 10.
5.
All right, we're going to draw a 5-degree angle. So, Soren, have you been drawing these angles?
Yes.
All right, hold up page 36 so I can see it. All right, don't forget your arcs, okay? And you're supposed to use that bottom ray for one of your angles. Okay, so we're gonna start with 5 degrees. So this time they didn't give us the ray, so we have to make our own. So I'm gonna make 2 points and then create my own ray. Start at 1 and go through the other. So I have a ray. Go ahead, Soren, create a ray.
I did.
Okay, now I'm going to put my protractor on my ray and make sure I'm lined up at the center and I'm lined up with 0. Now I have to find 5 degrees. It's so tiny. 1, so here's 0, here's 10. I'm going to go right in the middle of this long tick mark and create a point there. 5 degrees.
Mm-hmm. And then you connect it using your protractor as a straight edge.
Yep.
Yeah, like that.
Now what do I do? How do I know what angle to measure? What do I draw to show that I say this is the angle to measure?
Eyeball it as 5 degrees.
How do I know though? What do I draw? Who remembers? Cooper?
An arc.
An arc. Yep. So that's how I know what to measure. I know that I want to measure that little turn, not the big one. So tiny. Definitely a cute angle. All right, Sophia, pick another number.
Between 5 and 10, right?
Yeah, one on this page, another one to do.
Oh. Okay. Let's do 8.
All right. So, Sophia, how big of an angle are we drawing here?
117.
All right, let's start by making a ray. This time, just for fun, I'm just going to make my ray this way, just so that you can see angles can be made either direction. Just to switch it up a little. After I have my ray, I'm going to put my protractor down, making sure it's all lined up. Soren, are you drawing? How are you drawing when your fingers are in your mouth? I can see you, you know.
I'm drawing.
You're not even looking at the paper. You're looking at the screen. And that hand was in your mouth.
Oh.
So here are my numbers. I'm going to use the top set because that's where the
I
0
already did number 8.
And I'm going to look at my top set of numbers and follow the whole way to 100, 110. Oh, move my protractor, so I got to fix it. Here's 100, 110, 120. So I'm going to look at 115, 116, 117. And make my point. Then I'm going to create a ray and finish off with my arc. And is that obtuse? Let me check. It is, because the second part of the angle kicks out. So I have a 117-degree angle. a 117-degree angle. All right, one more. Let's have Olivia. Go ahead and pick what number you want us to do.
6.
All right, we're going to go up here. So, Olivia, what degree measurement are we drawing here?
A 175-degree angle.
And what kind of angle is that?
An obtuse.
It is. Olivia, do you remember what a straight angle measures? And so if I have a straight line, do you know what that measures? Do you remember?
No, I forgot.
Anyone remember what a straight angle measures? Unmute yourself and tell me.
180 degrees.
180. So if this is 175, Cooper, we can probably envision that it's going to be pretty close to looking like what?
A straight line.
Probably. It's a good assumption. So let's start with our ray. Lost my protractor. Here we go. Let's start and connect those with my straight edge. Nice straight lines. Tyler, are you drawing these? I really haven't seen you do much since you've gotten on. Which protractor are you using? From your template? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put my protractor down at the center and line it up with my backside, the bottom of my angle. Tyler, am I going to be using the bottom numbers or top numbers here?
Bottom numbers.
Very good, because there's our 0. So I'm going to look for 175. So I'm going the whole way to 90. Continue, 130, 140, 150. Here's 160. Here's 170. Here's 180. So I need to go between the glare of the thing. Between 170 and 180. So I'm going to go right in the middle, right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this away. Wow, look at that. Almost straight. So I'm measuring from here to there. Wow. It's a big one. Okay, does anyone have any questions about measuring angles, drawing angles using your template? So for your exit ticket for today, you do have to draw 4 angles. And I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to repeat, there's not an online submission. You have to take your packet, complete the page in your exit ticket packet, and then follow those directions that we used a lot at the beginning of the year to scan the page and send it to me so I can print it. And then I'm going to have to use my protractor to check all your drawings. Okay? Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. If not, you have your exit ticket. And please remember, your science quiz is also due on Friday, which is today, for the lesson this week. All right, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. On Monday, when you're going to see if you're home on Monday, I have a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, so there won't be a Zoom. So Monday's one of those days where you're going to get on, and I have the videos made for you. I'm doing the problems, so you'll just watch the videos and do them with me. Okay? It's an asynchronous day.